Hi guys, in the last tutorial we looked at the tables we're going to be analyzing for this course, SQL for data analyst. So we have three tables we're going to be looking at. So the focus of today's tutorial would be on establishing the relationship among those tables. So the first table we're going to be spending a lot of time analyzing is employees table, then departments table, and regions table. So at this point, it's important for us to know the relationship among these three tables. Okay, and that is going to lead us into a very important concept, which is a primary key and foreign key. Okay, so in regions table, for instance, you see we have three columns: region ID, PK. We have region column and we have country. So whenever you see this, it means primary key. Primary key means that this column, region ID, is the primary column in this table. So if a column is a primary column, it implies that this column cannot contain any duplicate data. So it is used to uniquely identify records in a table. Okay. In a region, in country, you can have duplicate data. You can have a region repeating. You can have country repeating. But in any column that is a primary key column or field, you can't have anything repeating in that column. It has to be unique. It's a unique identifier for that set of record. So um, for employees, the same thing goes for employees as well. You see, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We have 9 columns in employees table. But this employee ID is the unique identifier for this whole table. Okay, so we can have people with the same first name, the same last name, the same email. Maybe every other thing is possible to be duplicated or to be repeated. But a primary key field or column, you can't have duplicate data. So employee ID has to be unique. And if you look at it where you work, your employee ID is unique, just like your SSN is unique. So no two people have one SSN. So that's what United States can use to identify each person. It can't be the same. It's not expected to be the same. If you find in any table where SSN is repeated, is the same for two or more people, then there must be a problem somewhere. So in an employee table as well for an organization, each employee has a unique identifier, and that's your employee ID. That's the primary key. Okay. Apart from the fact that a primary key field cannot contain duplicate, it can't be repeated. It also cannot be empty, can't be null. Null, N-U-L-L. A primary key field cannot be null. You can't see it empty. There must be something in that. There must be data in this employee ID. Same thing go for region ID as well. So for departments, we also have department as the primary key field. It means we can't have department repeating. It has to be unique. Unique department. Here, unique region ID, unique employee ID. No duplicate, no repetition. Okay, and they can't be empty. All these primary key fields cannot be empty. So that's for primary key. If you want to know more about primary key, maybe you want to go into database design, is it could be more than this, okay? You need to know more than this. But because the focus of this class is not for database design or um, primary key. I'm just explaining this to you because we're going to need it when we start analyzing. So it's just like giving you an overview. All you need to know for this course is what I've just told you. Okay. And also FK. See, department is FK here, but here is PK. It means the primary table for department is this department's table. So here department must be unique, but here department can be duplicated because here we have, don't forget, we have 1,000 employees. We can have 10 employees working in the same department, so we can have repeated data for department here. Is a foreign key here, but here it has to be unique. So if I want to link this department's table with this employees table, what I can use is this foreign key to link both. That is what I have in departments table that is also in employees table. That's what I can use to link this. Imagine that I need first name, last name, and division. Division is in departments table, is not in employees table. But first name and last name are in employees table. So if I have a business requirement that wants me to retrieve or return first name, last name, and division, this is what I'm going to use to join these two tables together. And that's why you have the connection arrow. So this is used to reference this. So it's a foreign key because it comes from here. Here is a primary key. But because of referential integrity, we need to reference this because we might have requirements that um, that makes us want to combine or join two tables or three tables together. So that's really the essence of foreign key, so that I can use this to join this table if I have a requirement like that. The same thing goes for region ID as well. You see, region ID in regions table is a primary key, but in employees table is a foreign key. Here you can have 20 employees working in the same region, so you can have it duplicated in employees table because it's a foreign key. But here you can't have it duplicated. It has to be unique. It has to be distinct. Okay. So you can use this to reference this, use this to reference this, and that's why the arrow is like that. This concept is important for you to know at this point before we move into the analysis. Even though we're not going to start, we are not going to need all these primary key, what I can use to connect one or two tables together. For now, what I can use to link two or three tables together, for at least for over 80% of the hands-on session, we're not going to be doing that because the way this is structured is to start from the very basic level, and we move gradually as we build on our knowledge. We move gradually into the next level, like the intermediate level. Okay, so let me quickly show you this on Postgres. The Postgres is the RDBMS we are using. So let's query each. So if I want to see everything that I have. So if I want to see everything in the employees table, so it's showing I have 1,000 records in this table. This is the employee ID, is the primary key column. So is this, each one is uniquely identifying this record. So this guy with this first name, this last name, this email, his employee ID is one. If you look through this, you won't see any employee ID again that is one. This employee ID is 2 for this guy with this first name and last name. We can have another guy in this table with the same name. People have the same first name. People share the same last name. Okay? 10 people might be hired on the same date. 20 people might be working in the same department. Okay? 500 people might be female employees in an organization. People can earn the same salary. People can work in the same region. But this employee ID cannot be the same. It has to be unique for in this table. So this is the unique identifier field in this table for each record. So if we check the other table we have, um, let's say regions, we have regions table as well. The same thing is in regions. You see, we have southwest, we have another southwest region. This can be duplicates. This can contain duplicate as well. We can have duplicated data in region column and country column. But in region ID, it has to be unique. You can't have duplicate data in this. And the same thing for the third table as well. So we've looked at the employees table. We've looked at the regions table as well. So the same thing goes for for all of them. That's how to know that something is a foreign key. That's how to identify a foreign key. So if you want to check for the third table as well, which is departments table. So if I say select star from department, it means select all from departments table. And this will be changing. This is your output window. We go into more details in the next tutorial to explain this. So our focus today is just to show you the entity relationship diagram and what is primary key, what is foreign key, and what exactly are they, can we use them for. So that's what I'm showing you in this tutorial. So you see that departments and division are the two columns we have, but department column is a primary key field. So you can't have clothing twice, you can't have grocery twice, decor, you can't have it twice. But here you see home, you see three homes, electronics. This is not a primary key, so you can have some data repeating in this one, but not in a primary key field. So I want you to lay that strong foundation now, so that as we go on, when we get to where this will be useful, we won't have issues. Okay. And another thing I want you to know is that if you if you are watching this tutorial disjointedly, like you just come across the video online and you don't look for the previous ones, you won't really be getting uh, the the required knowledge, what you are supposed to get from this tutorial. Okay, so before you watch tutorial 11, because this is the 11th tutorial that I've uploaded on YouTube, make sure you look for tutorial 1 to 10. Okay, that will help you in understanding all the concept. We have laid that foundation from tutorial 1 to 10. So this is the beginning of our hands-on. So we're only trying to explain the concept of primary key entity relationship diagram. So this is an entity relationship diagram that shows the relationship among all the tables we have in a database. Okay, so in the next tutorial we are going to start writing our SQL. So it's going to be for basic SQL statement. And that's why I'm going to be explaining all the keywords you need to know, all the syntax you need to understand, how to query table, how to write SQL, so that to become a very marketable data analyst, you can add SQL to your skill. Okay. Thank you for watching. I will see you in the next one.